Hey guys, this is my second sketchbook tour assignment. So I just started with the cube. This one was pretty simple because it was just mostly just straight lines, which made it really easy. And the mapping that Professor Jones had put out in the video made it pretty simple. I will say that I had a hard time like right here getting this angle right. I had to redo it a couple of times, but overall I think this one worked out just fine. This one was a little more difficult. I still think like a couple of my lines up here look a little wonky, but you know, it's not perfect. I am a perfectionist. This maybe could be a little more curved, but I was basing it on the measurements. But I mean, it's pretty symmetrical, so it wasn't too difficult. The measurements were already there in the video, so it, made it kind of easy to follow. The teapot is probably one of my favorites. I think the thing that I had the hardest, I don't know if you can see right here, I had a hard time getting this curve right. So I kept coming down like this and then trying to draw out, and then I had to redo it several times because then I realized it comes out more like this and comes down instead of having like this kind of S shape that I kept trying to put on it. And I kept trying to figure out why the curve in here was wrong. And I just realized that it was the measurements that I had in there just weren't quite correct, which is why my measurement over here, like if you can see, I actually had to adjust it a little bit. It didn't quite match up to where I needed to put it. But I think it turned out pretty good in the end. Originally, I had like the handle, I don't know if you could see, there's a little line here I had erased because it was just a little too skinny. In the picture, it has it a little wider on the bottom and on the top. And it's more of a, like this kind of 90-degree shape rather than like this perfect kind of circle handle. I really liked the bowl with the fruit. I think I needed the bowl to be a little wider. Like I drew it 3 or 4 times and had to erase it every time because the proportions just weren't correct, which is why if you see up here, the apple is so close to the teapot. Because originally when I drew it, I wasn't getting the proportions I needed to make this 60-40, which is what it looks like in the video. And I think even then, I think in reality, the apple needed to come up a little bit. I just didn't have enough room because I'd already done the teapot. But it still came out really well. I really liked how it turned out. The proportions here were... I just put the apple here in its own box, which I think made it easier to kind of figure out the size. And I could just look and see how it laid on, like how much space was left between the apple and the bowl here, and between the apple and the bowl here. And yeah, and then at first I was trying to figure out why it didn't look right, and I realized that in the picture the apple actually comes around. So I don't know if you can see, I originally had the line drawn here, and I had to redo the line out here because I hadn't taken into account how far this box needed to come out. It doesn't end at the bowl, it ends over here at the apple. And same with this apple up here, since I originally had drawn it this way, and the apple was too short, I had to actually extend the box up this way as well. So just making adjustments as I go. And these were just like, the basic symmetric shapes. They weren't too difficult. I think at first, I drew this line a little too close this way. And so it was almost backwards. This line is further to the left than up here to give this triangular shape, and mine kept coming, like it kept being over here more than this, and it was like almost straight down, and I just realized it wasn't quite the right angle. I don't know if you can see right here, but I fixed it and it looks much better. And the measurements here I had were like 60 up top, 40 down here where the ball is. I probably should have put the ball in its own box here, but I felt like it worked better just for this one to have them all be together. Yeah. For these ones, I use separate boxes for all of them. And I'm happy with pretty much all of them. This curvature probably could have been a little wider. It's a little too wonky right here. And the only other thing is I would say, I think for this box, I needed to have started a little further out here because my cube is a little rectangle shaped here. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Thanks, guys.